know what you're thinking. High school is so cool. You can choose to eat in the cafe or the cafeteria, and no one holds your hand on the way there either. It's the time we've all been waiting for. To abandon our youth miles behind us and blossom from our dependent past. Unfortunately, my story is a bit different. Imagine me confidently approaching the self-check-in kiosk at Phoenix Sky Harbor and having someone yell that they've stumbled across an unaccompanied minor, meaning that you're under the age of 15 and flying away. I nervously looked around in hopes that it wasn't me they were talking about, but after I glanced down at me clenching my turtle pillow pet, I realized that they definitely were. Instantly swarmed with concerned Southwest Airlines women that were clearly mothers, I presented them with my ID and assured them I hadn't been one for 3 years. Reluctantly, they let me go, and I came to the conclusion that my pillow friend was surely not helping my case, so I promptly ditched it. I thought it was clear until I reached the next TSA agent at the security check-in. He mumbled through that donut he was eating into the walkie-talkie, UM. And there we go. Scrambling for my most valuable possession, again, I gave him my license. He examined it for longer than what seemed comfortable, gave it back, and allowed me the permission to be the big girl I am and board my flight all by myself. Now, I realize that the airport is a particularly unacceptable place to be if you're solo and you look like you're 12. But wherever I go, people surely remind me that I look young for my age. Whether it's the cashier at Borders, amazed by the fact that I can drive, or the valet boy that refuses to give me my car keys, it's always someone. I admit that I have looked similar to a 12-year-old ever since I actually was 12. But I wonder what motivates people to go out of their way to point out how young I look, as if I had never heard it before. It also doesn't help that I was 4 feet tall starting freshman year. I would certainly rather look young for my age than old, because looking old doesn't give you unlimited access to Chuck E. Cheese, or allow you to be adorable when you're actually just a bundle of ignorance. I do agree that there's much to look forward to in being an adult, like giving the response, because I said so, and having your own home, and getting as many Daffy Duck tattoos on your butt that you want. But there are also downfalls, like dealing with something called self-awareness, or controlling your tears when our parents slowly stop funding our existence. And finding a daycare for your kids late at night when we make in-and-out runs and have mandatory yoga on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Being a teenager is fun because we claim the best parts of being both a child and an adult. Everyone remembers that one time that they wanted to walk around the dangerous Fashion Square Mall all by themselves. And so they tried to convince their parents that I am 17 and I am old enough and mature enough to do whatever I want. Then, the next day, when our parents ask us to schedule an orthodontist appointment, we say, "Are you kidding me? I'm only 17. I can't do that." We cleverly hold on to the aspects of being both a child and an adult that are at our own convenience for as long as we can. Even though many of us can't wait to grow up, being a teenager is so nice. We have enough freedom and don't have to worry about paying rent or even have to know what a mortgage is. I used to try to escape my adolescence and rebel in various ways, but then, once the rude awakening of college became a reality, I remembered how great it was to be under the care of my parents and siblings, even if it did take years to convince them to keep me, and that I convinced them into thinking that they've raised a normal child. Other than the obvious annoyance of being referred to as a 12-year-old, looking young for my age hasn't been all that bad. However, I'm honest in saying that if I give it 10 more years, I will be on the news for the first case of Benjamin Button syndrome. But I deal with this annoyance, knowing that I can do things that require age, not just a mature physical appearance, like sign my own waiver to jump at sky parks. And regardless of how young or how old we may look, many argue that high schoolers are extremely immature. From those freshman boys that sprint around the knoll playing tag and hiding in the shadowed corners, to the girls that took dating advice from Sabrina the Teenage Witch and now relentlessly protest the no twerking at prom rule, we're all very young. We also forget all the things that kids do that adults can't, and how limited our time of being a kid actually is. Just look at how much your celebrity crushes have changed this past 9 years, from Shia LaBeouf and Even Stevens to now Dave Franco. When you're young, you'll run the fastest you'll probably ever be able to, laugh harder at less than funny jokes, and you certainly won't feel obligated to eat kale or cut carbs. In childhood, our imaginations are limitless. You can be aboard a ship with the VeggieTales, then be modeling in New York's Fashion Week. A split second later, all without any ridicule at all. Kids move forwards for the rest of their lives, and adults look forward to retirement, aka 20 years in a lazy boy chair drooling from their dentures. Except for Schweik. No one wants to be stuck in a perpetual state of immaturity, but being a kid is more fun and should be appreciated more because once you're out in the world, it's all gray hair from there. I even think that as annoying as it is being called 12, I'll miss it. Every once in a while, I'll pull my ID out right before the waiter would have not even asked for it. And in honor of holding on to my childhood, I'll probably put 24-inch chrome rims on my wheelchair and slap a bumper sticker on the back that says, "I'm still hot." Now it just comes in flashes. Thank you.